Hi, ChickenboneJohn here, and welcome to playing the blues shuffle on the 3-string Cigar Box guitar. This is the second time I've done this, so I'm going to recap a little bit of what I did the first time round. If you didn't see that, I'd suggest you go and have a look at that. I'll put the link on the description. I'll recap, pick out a few points, and then I'm going to take it a bit further. Here we go. Okay, that's the basis of what we're doing is this up, down, up, down. Don't worry about the chords, I'll cover that in a minute. The one thing I do want to recap is this up, down. We're getting away from this evenly paced, awfully soulless thing to something with some rhythm. And remember, we start with an up stroke every time, up, down, up, down. One thing which is important, the stress is on the downstroke, and you want to stay down. When you go make the downstroke, you want to go up, down. I'm going to exaggerate this. Let's have a look at this up and down thing that's going on here. We go up, down, up, down. So it's always up, down. Couple of things. I'm resting this part of my hand on the bridge of the guitar, so instead of getting this sound, I'm getting more of a chuggy, muted sound. And when I go up, it's quite a quick up, down, and my hand stays down. I'm going to exaggerate that, but that's really important to get this shuffle going. So we go up, down, stay down, up, down, stay down, stay down. I'm going to repeat a lot of this stuff and you probably get fed up, but you've got to listen and repeat to get this into your muscles and get this rhythm imprinted. I'm emphasizing or exaggerating this pause at the bottom of the downstroke. That's very exaggerated, but if I play this at more speed, so remember that, what you go up, down, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. We're going down on the 2 and 4 and keeping that hand down. Don't rush to come back up. That's what gives it the lilt and the bounce. Right, we're going to look at what's happening with the fretting hand. I've got a slide here on my little finger. You don't need a slide on right this minute, but I'm going to start introducing it. Now, what we've been doing, the basic pattern has been this up, down, and just on and off at the 2nd fret. We do the same thing. We put a bar across here when we do the chord change at the 5th fret, and we take another finger. This time I'm using my ring finger to come in here 2 frets above here, so it's at the 7th. When I come to the 7th, I'm doing the same thing, coming 2 frets above. I'll just show you that, and then we're going to add a few embellishments. Off and on, off and on, off, and going to the 5th. I'm going to put a bar across. See, I'm coming up 2 frets, basically the same sort of thing. Then I'm going back down to the open, off and on. Then I'm going to go up to the 7th fret. Here we go with my bar at the 7th fret. Then down to the 5th. show you this little turnaround later on. Okay, what we can do, if you got that, we can add to it just a finger at a time, and we're just going to add the middle finger on the 3rd fret, and we're going to repeat that up the fretboard. So here is how it goes, and this is starting the idea of what we call a walking bass. Open, 2, 3, 2, open, 2, 3, 2, open, 2, 3, 2. When we go to the 5th fret, we'll have to change the fingering because we're going to use our 1st finger for the bar. So here, I've got 2 choices. If I've got the slide on here, I've got to do that. 2 and 3. I'm going from the 5, 7, 8 on the middle string. If I don't use the slide, I can use my little finger. I can do it like this. Keep that down. 2 or 3, and then I can go to the 7th fret. So I'm going 7, 9 and 8 all in the middle. Again, if I put the slide back on, I'm going to have to stretch that finger. See? That will probably be quite painful, but the further up the fretboard you go, the closer together the frets are, so it's easier at the top to do that. So that's the idea of this walking bass coming in. Just adding an extra finger. We can even add even more by coming onto the bass string, and we really start getting a walking bass. It gets a bit complicated because we're going to use the 3rd and the 4th fret. Here we go. Takes a little while to get that into your fingers because I was finding it difficult talking over and calling out the notes. So I'm going open, 3, 4, open, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, open, 3, 4. Now, here's an important principle for guitar playing in general. I'm not moving my hand. I've got my hand in the right position and I'm using my fingers. I'm not sliding my fingers. You can do that, but it's more efficient. Keep your hand in the same place. And target the frets. See the way I'm doing that? I've got these fingers here on the 3rd and 4th. Just use my 1st finger on here. When we come up to do this pattern, it's a lot more difficult because we have to go. Okay, so I am having to do some movement there. But it's just a repetition of what's going down here. Okay, there's that turnaround there at the end before it goes back into the next verse, and it is simply 5, 6, 7, and you can play that just on the bass string with, here we go, a finger on each fret. 5, 6, 7. If you can equally put a bar across there, but this time you'd want to move the bar rather than use a bar for each finger. Okay, there was another little bit that I think I introduced the idea of, or I will introduce the idea, which is what's called the rundown. And I'll come out of that last part where I'm up here at the 7, down to the 5. So you got that rundown and the turnaround. So it is middle string, 3, 2, 1, open, 5, 6, 7. You can do this by just going down a fret at a time with one finger, moving it down, or you can do the more efficient thing and put a finger on each fret. I'm doing 2 strikes on each note, and you can do all 3 strings with your strumming pattern. You can get a little fancier with it if you're doing this sort of thing here. See, I'm doing alternating from the middle and the top. See if I can get the whole thing so you see what's happening. 5, 6, 7. So that's the rundown. So as I say, you can do that all really with the strumming, with your up down. You don't need to pick it. If I wanted to pick it, I could. It gets a little bit crisper. Let's put all that together, and then we'll just add a little bit of slide to finish off with. That little rundown, you can use that to start a number as well. With the turn around, okay. I'm not going to do the fancy one, I'm just going to do the 2 and 3. You can mix and match what you're doing. You don't have to use the same pattern each time. Here we go. I'll just go down that last bit again, so I'm going from the 7th fret the last time round down to the 5. Here we go, and we're going to go 3, 2, 1, open, 5, 6, 7, ready to go again. Added a little bit of slide there, and all I was doing, just sliding the, I was just taking the slide and go from the 2nd to the 3rd fret. If you notice, I'm not putting it across all 3 strings. I'm thinking as if I've got the tip of my finger That's where I'm putting the slide. You see, it's only touching the top string. Now here's a couple of things. The action on this is quite low, so I need to be quite delicate. If I press down too hard, I'm hitting the fret. If I don't press down hard enough, I get the string rattling against the slide. So it's a difficult combination to do. Here's a really neat trick, because you're going to get two notes off this. That one, that sound behind the slide, which you don't want. And if you mute it, just touch your finger very lightly. You know, if you can do a harmonic, where it's just like a feather-like touch on the string. It's the same thing here. I'm barely touching the string. I'm certainly not pressing it. But what it does, it gets rid of the rattle. Here there's no, when the slide touches the string, this finger is damping the vibration behind the slide. See, very lightly. There's a few little things here. If you find it a little bit difficult using your little finger, you can sort of splint these two fingers together, so they're acting as one. See what I mean there? And remember, don't put your hand in here. Your hand wants to be back. So your thumb is on the back of the neck or just on the top, but the web of your hand, the palm of your hand, does not want to be in the guitar. So you need very little slide to get it to sound good. The other thing here, instead of using the bar, you can use your slide. When you do use the slide, you want to be right over the fret here at the 5th. I'm not going to be putting it here where I'd normally put my finger. The slide has got to be right over the fret. And it needs to be as square as you can get it. If you do that, these notes are going to be sharp, these notes are going to be flat. So as square to the fretboard, to the frets as you can. It is more difficult to get all three strings ringing without that horrible rattling noise. It can help if you damp, but it's quite difficult to damp all three and get your slide on. Don't worry too much about that. So let's just finish off with a little bit of slide and that walking bass. And that, remember, up, down, and keep that hand down. Keep the hand down when you're doing those strokes. Put that all together and just put a little bit of slide in it. I probably just, you don't need much. I do say it's a bit like chili sauce. People's taste changes or differs from person to person, but you wouldn't want a whole plate of it. So you don't want to be doing, you don't want to be sliding all the time. Get the rhythm right. Like Son House said, you got to get your rhythm right, boy. So let's do that, and then we'll just add a little bit of seasoning with that slide. We're just going up, down, open, 2, 3, 2, open, 2, 3. Let's slide to the 5. Keep the up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. to the 7th, 5. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, open. 5, 6, 7. You can finish up here on the 12th, an octave above where you started. Okay, I hope that's been a little bit help, but do remember, you got to get this rhythm going, this chugging rhythm, and keep that hand down. We want to get rid of this flapping up and down. You want to get rid of that. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear a nice up chop. Up, down, okay? Don't worry about putting too much slide on. Stay here. 1, 2, 3. The 3rd fret, the bluesman's friend. You can't do any wrong in this tuning on the 3rd fret. Listen. Just the 3rd fret. You can do a lot with that and just concentrate and get a nice clean singing sound with your slide. We'll talk a bit more about the slide on another occasion, about developing that vibrato and getting a cleaner tone. Okay, hope that helps. Bye for now.